There are so many areas where the world of product stewardship is growing and needs to advance in the next many years. I mean, if we think about some of these emerging issues like the Sustainable Development Goals, the UN Sustainable Development Goals, or even the circular economy. But I think it comes back to, in the end, product design, really rethinking the way we're designing and putting products into commerce, and at least from my perspective, of chemistry, thinking about how to address solutions, right, where we want to have the functionality that a particular chemistry has, but how do we design out the problems in the first place, or how do we design for circularity and minimize the trade-offs between issues of toxicity or longevity or recyclability at the design phase, because that's where problems are baked into materials and then ultimately products is at the design phase. So the more product stewards can connect with design teams to really think about, well, what's on the horizon? What do we need to worry about? What are consumers concerned about? So that those considerations get brought in as equal as considerations about cost and performance, which obviously in the end sell a product, but you can make that third tier and say it's not just about cost and performance, it's cost, performance, and sustainability, because ultimately, maybe not tomorrow, but in 5 to 10 years, that's going to be a defining factor. And what is going to distinguish products is the more sustainable products, the ones that consumers feel are safer, healthier for themselves, for their families, for the planet, or in the end going to do better. I mean, look at, for example, the organic foods market. Compared to traditional foods, organic foods are growing significantly faster than organic foods, or than traditional foods. I think we're going to see that in the product space as well, that increasingly products that by certification, by transparency, by some mechanism are seen as more sustainable, or companies that are seen as ones taking into consideration consumer concerns and responding to them are going to be doing better in the long run. I think take a solutions approach. It's really easy to think about product stewardship in terms of product advocacy, in terms of we've got to, what we make is safe today, and understandably no company is putting on the market a product that they think is dangerous. But the question is, could it be safer? Are there concerns, scientific concerns, social concerns, market concerns, regulatory concerns about that product that we need to be thinking out 5 to 10 years out so that we can start acting today? So it really is coming in it with a forward-looking mentality based on solutions rather than, how do I show this is safe? How do I keep on showing? You're going to have to keep on demonstrating product safety, but how do we integrate that product safety with product sustainability, with a forward-looking innovation mentality? And that's where it's a challenge, and that's going to require the other thing that I think the product steward of the future is going to have to be a collaborator. They're going to have to collaborate with customers. They're going to have to collaborate with consumers. They're going to have to collaborate internally with product designers, with regulatory, with the business managers to really start building the case, and then to collaborate with the supply chain. So we get to win-win solutions when we collaborate and when we bring in unlikely stakeholders together to critique us, to question us, to challenge us where we are working together. And I think the product steward of the future is a multidisciplinary connector, networker, and collaborator. I think the incoming generation as a whole has a very different view about thinking about problems and solutions. They want solutions. They want to think about future generations and what comes next. So it is a more integrated, tech-savvy, multidisciplinary thinker that really has hope. So my hope in this is we don't discourage that hope and that enthusiasm for making the world better, and we channel that towards solutions. Again, going back to the question of solutions, it does give hope. It's opportunity. So that positive direction, I think, engages our next generation. They want to know that they're making the world a better place. So how do we engage them to think about that rather than, oh gosh, things are awful, or oh yes, we can't do this. They want to be doers. So that's what I see as the opportunity, is to engage that enthusiasm, that creativity, and move them forward. So what can more seasoned practitioners do? Seasoned practitioners need to mentor the next generation. It's really important to learn from history, because we often forget that there is a history. We've tried certain things, or we did certain things and they failed the first time around. We tried a policy, or we tried a new technique and it didn't work quite well. So what do we learn from that to improve it for the future? The next generation isn't creating a whole new reality. They're taking what we've learned and adopting it and using it very differently. So we need to make sure that they are that they're grounded, that they are thoughtful, that they learn how to network and connect. And one of the things I've realized often from the young generation is they think they know everything. Well, that's a good thing, but there's a lot of opportunity to learn from the past, that we can learn from our mentors and shape the future by understanding what worked and what didn't in the past.